Okay, this is chapter 14, lesson 2, part 2, because we ran out of time on the first one. Okay, so we came up with all of this with the sign in it, yes. To help us figure out if I have this angle, okay, and I have this radius, can I use that to find this side? Okay? And that's easy enough to do using sine, okay? What we're going to go on to do with that, we're going to shift some things around, okay? Because this looks a little crazy, okay? We want to get a variable by itself. And the thing that we don't know, remember, is the length of this side. This whole formula is assuming that I don't know the side length, because that would be the easy way to find the perimeter. But I do know the radius, and I know the number of sides. Okay, so let's try to get s by itself, because that's our unknown. So we're going to multiply both sides by r to get rid of the r down here. Okay, so multiply by r, multiply by r. Okay, so I have s over 2 equals r times this whole thing, sine of 180 over n. And then why don't we multiply by 2 also, so that we get rid of that. Okay, so those go away. And left with s equals 2 times r times sine of 180 over n. Okay, so the interesting thing for us then, okay, is that we can see some similarities in this 2 and r. Remember we said we're looking at how we can take these regular polygons and help us to find out something about circles from that. So does this start to look familiar? This 2 and r. It should if we're thinking about our formula for circumference. Okay, so what we'll see is that as this n gets bigger and bigger, this whole part of our formula is going to get closer and closer to pi. Okay, and in the homework, in case we're going to have to use sine, okay, is for us to get kind of a glance at how this works, is we're going to look at different numbers for n. If you have a decagon with 10 sides, if you have a polygon with 100 sides, or 1,000 sides, or 10,000 sides, if I put in these different values of n into our formula here to let us solve for s, what is that going to do as this number gets bigger and bigger and bigger? Okay, so we put n here to show the number of sides, and then this is going to give us, this goes in here for n. So we let this letter capital N substitute for all of this, just to make it look a little bit neater. And so this is n times the sine of 180 over n. Okay, so as n gets bigger here and n gets bigger here, the number of sides, we're going to see what happens to this middle term here. Okay, and it's pretty interesting how that changes. Okay, so that's going to be your homework for this. I also just want to show you up here at the top. This is an icosagon, that 20-sided figure. So do you see how close that is to a circle? And why Archimedes would start thinking along these lines that if we have a regular polygon with a lot of sides, it's pretty close to a circle, and maybe we could use that to help us find out more information about circles and how they work. Okay, I will see y'all at lesson 3.